Hey everyone, I think you might be listening to the Drunk Tank.
Wait, what's the name of this podcast?
I think so.
That sounded like Blink 182 when they tried to go all serious.
I didn't realize they tried to go serious at some point.
Yeah, and that's you don't realize that because they failed pretty miserably.
Man, I feel like you almost want to call an ambulance for that guy when he hits so many high notes there. He's gonna pass out.
You want to call an ambulance for the high notes that he's butchering.
For our eardrums, maybe.
It'll-
No, but we loved it. I loved
It was also another reference to Gav, who hasn't been on the podcast since October.
my queue's a little backed up.
Yeah, send in new ones, please, everyone.
Although that was the first one I felt like I need to have like a cup of Jamaica Mountain Blue coffee when I was listening to it.
Is that your first reference or your first product placement of the day?
It is my first product placement of the day.
Hey, what are we doing?
We're doing a podcast. It's Gus, Joel, and Jack this week.
What's up?
Bernie and Jeff are tied up with some Red vs. Blue production.
Ooh, that's a tease.
Yeah, and they gotta finish hammering that thing out. So we're actually not recording in our normal room either. We're in the conference room. So if you hear any buses or homeless crazy people screaming in the background, that would explain why.
Or it's Brandon.
Because that would be me complaining about the sounds we hear outside.
The sounds outside are pretty terrible. The
Yeah.
other day, a homeless guy started screaming at me, and this isn't the first time. Like, I was legitimately on the phone. I call my wife when I leave work every day, and I walk down the street to the parking garage, and twice now I've been like harassed and accosted by homeless people who think I'm just pretending to be on the phone to avoid talking to them. One time a homeless lady kicked me because she thought I was trying to ignore her.
In all fairness, people in the office do often try and kick you, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
No, this wasn't the homeless guy who sings every night, was it?
No.
I like that guy.
That
love
guy's
that guy.
awesome.
I love that guy.
That guy's never said a word that's not in song.
Yeah.
That's the best.
Every time you leave the office, you feel like you're like in Ally McBeal. You're walking down, somebody's singing a song. It's weird.
I want to film that guy and put up a video so other people can see what we're talking about. But I always feel uncomfortable. Like anytime I see him down there singing, like, oh, I should get out my iPhone and just film him for a little bit. Like, but I don't want to sit here and film a potentially crazy person who comes out and
Yeah.
sings on the street.
You know what's weird right now is that we're a mic short right now, and it's really weird. I can tell like we can't talk over each other. We actually have to otherwise our faces get too disturbingly close to each other.
And we might like it a little too much.
Yeah. How did I end up with my solo mic? Hey
See, now
guys,
I'm coming over and I'll talk with Jack.
Well, it's because you
Jesus
take
Christ.
up more mass.
Oh, do I?
Or
I might not be
Thanks.
able to escape once I lean over there.
Yeah, Gus is trapped between Joel and I.
Yeah, how did this happen?
Well, you've got the laptop though, so you're gonna give us all topics to talk about. Like, what should we talk about first, Gus? Oh wait, today's Tablet Day.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty important.
I think Apple needs to stop having press conferences on Wednesday at noon because that's the worst possible time for our podcast because we can't talk about it because our podcast is recorded right before then. And then if we talk about it next week, it's already old news.
Yeah.
So Steve Jobs, I know you're a big fan. You're listening.
You know what? Go ahead.
We can talk about it in future tense.
That tablet was old news well before that press
No,
conference.
let-
I mean, that was the worst kept secret.
Let's
ever.
It's just like the iPhone.
Here, let's talk about some details of the tablet, like we actually know what it is. Like, since this podcast will come out afterwards, like, man, you guys, are you excited that AT&T is doing the 3G network with the tablet?
We should be like, aren't you excited about the 3-megapixel camera? Aren't you excited about the 5-megapixel camera? Aren't you excited about the 7-megapixel camera?
I'm excited
Why
about the
isn't there a
10-inch
camera? and then just let me edit it all together so it all sounds like we knew exactly what we're talking about.
Just give us the
That's why
option.
those podcasts take so long to like put together, man.
Yeah.
It's like a choose your own adventure.
Those options.
What's Gus doing? Oh, he's assembling a proper argument.
Well, since we can't speculate on the tablet because the announcement comes out shortly after we finish recording the podcast, why don't we talk about the fact that it's speculated there will be no new Half-Life 2 in this year.
Whoa, I didn't hear about that.
Didn't hear about that?
No.
Apparently, the latest issue of Game Informer says that Half-Life 2 Episode 3 will not come out this year and might never come out.
I thought the whole idea of the episodic content was the fact that it was easier to produce and you can get it out quicker.
Well, someone should have told Valve.
No kidding, man.
Well, I mean, they called it Half-Life. What do you expect? It's like slowly going to die
it gets
off,
longer
right?
and longer and longer.
Right.
Oh, no, Half-Lives get shorter. That's right.
Oh, Jesus.
But
you got it backwards.
Joel's going with the dying off
Oh,
analogy.
okay.
That's right. Like carbon dating. I'm just going to say carbon dating.
Trilobites.
Trilobites.
Now you're just saying scientific terms that come to your head. Fibonacci sequence. Well, that's mathematical terms. Sorry.
But I'm a little disappointed. I was really looking forward to Episode 3, especially after the Orange Box. And I don't know.
Yeah,
I hope they finish it. I hope it comes out at some point.
When did Episode 2 come out?
2006? It came out with the Orange Box.
Jeez. It really takes that long to produce one episode? How long was Episode 2? Was it a full game or was it like 4 hours, right?
It was like 4 hours, something like that.
Man, I don't know. It's to the point now where it seems like, God, if you're a developer and you wind up waiting too long, like, dealing with generations of games, it's almost like, I don't know, the newest and the prettiest stuff. It's like if you wait too long, it's like it looks outdated by the time it comes out.
Well, that was the problem with Duke Nukem 3D, right? Was they kept wanting to upgrade the engine, and like new engines would come out, and like, oh, we got to scrap it and start over again. And well, that was one of many problems with that game. But
Yeah, it was that was the big one. And I just looked it up. Half-Life 2 Episode 2 came out in 2007.
wow, so it's 3 years ago.
Well, it was like October, so I'd say
That was 2.5 years ago.
We could have been funnier at the beginning of the podcast.
Did you
Should we
say
start
funner?
over?
Let's just do the whole choose your own adventure thing.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Gus.
Hey, I had to say I came into one thing. I was listening to the Ricochet Radio podcast.
What? Respawn Radio.
Respawn Radio.
Okay.
See, I'm lame. Which is great. It's a great podcast. But I was listening to them. I noticed they have like background music going on in the background or whatever.
Oh, we've got buses.
We should totally. This is what we should do. We should get different like musical bites and put it underneath. We'll choose one and see how it affects our podcast.
Actually, I used to work at a radio station, and that was one of the big things they were against, was putting music underneath voices, or at least for extended periods of time, because people get distracted by the music. Like subconsciously, they'll listen to the music as opposed to people talking.
I think I'd rather have them be distracted by the music than listening to what I'm saying.
That's true. We are pretty boring. All right, what do we got here, Gus?
Well, I also feel like, God damn it, let me.
This is fun. I'm watching you pick up your topics.
This is like the other day when you tried to make me talk about what was on my laptop screen when I wasn't ready to talk about it.
I got to stop. I came into this and I said, "Gosh, what are we going to talk about on this podcast?"
Gus has got like 30 tabs
and
open.
Gus busts out this one headline. It's like, what?
And the headline is, I guess last week, South Korea ruled that virtual currency is just as good as cash. And in reading this article, I realized that apparently China taxes virtual goods, but only on a voluntary basis. So you have to declare your goods and then pay taxes on them.
Declare your
in
virtual
China.
goods.
Yeah.
I want to see
Declare your
that.
virtual goods.
I want
Yeah.
to see that tax form.
This has got to be step one.
My
of the
cloud song is
computers.
depreciating.
The cloud song bottomed in March along with the rest of the market.
This has got to be step one of the computer's, master plan to take over the world. This has got to be it.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Virtual currency becomes as good as real cash?
Hey, yesterday was the 31-year anniversary of a robot killing someone for the first time, right?
What?
Yeah, the day before yesterday, I think.
Was the day before yesterday, Monday?
Yeah,
Did it happen in a
25th.
comical manner?
I don't know.
No,
Was it a car plant or something?
yeah, it was at a car plant. It was, I think, if I remember the article properly, a guy was in a stock room trying to get up some supplies, and a robotic arm swung around and hit him and killed him.
Wow. And then it went on a search for Sarah Connor.
That's I'm not sure how to feel about that.
He actually had a photo of John Connor, and he swung around to show it to him and actually accidentally killed the guy.
Damn.
That's-
God, that is freaky, dude.
Cyber9 hasn't developed or
Yeah,
hadn't
but
developed
when you
that well
look
yet.
at if you link this picture that we're looking at right now,
That is
where,
awful
where do
creepy.
you feel like you could safely put a human in that scenario
Dude.
and not have limbs get torn off?
Imagine those as all like coffins as opposed to truck beds. That's all I see. That's like the plant they made for the 275,000 plastic coffins.
That's exactly what I was going to say. These are like FEMA robots working day and night to put you in the ground.
It's like they're turning humans. I don't know. It looks like the Borg.
Was there a number of how many humans have been killed by robots on that article?
Not that I saw.
No.
No.
So just one? Well, the robots are obviously.
Well, no,
trying
it
to suppress
started.
this.
It was
That
31
the
years
first
ago.
one. Yeah.
I would say, what would be your over under? Well, if you're, I don't know, I would say over under 100. What do you say, Gus?
I'd say probably under.
I would lean under as well.
I think we in a previous podcast we talked about this, but I think it's the Staples, and you weren't there, so I'm repeating it for you, Jack.
Okay.
I think it's the Staples.com warehouse. If you order something from Staples, they have robots in their warehouse that go around and pick the items you order online.
Oh, cool.
And then, I guess, take it to another area where the people grab it and then box it up and ship
Right, and since they have your address and they come find you and kill you.
He's
they
out of
roll
Staples,
it to your
we can
house.
attack. he's defenseless.
Actually, I saw a video about the Lego factory in Denmark. It was very similar to that. It was like you could type in whatever boxes you need, and like these Lego robots. Well, not Lego robots, but these robots would go and select whatever Legos and put them into bags and stuff. It was really neat. I don't know. I thought it was cool. I like Legos, so
That's pretty cool.
What? I almost asked what was on your screen, but I'm not going to because that would be inappropriate.
Yeah, that's totally inappropriate. You got to let it flow organically. You can't
Flow
you can't be
organically.
Like, what's going on the screen? Isn't that a funny joke we see over there?
Ah.
Well, what is on my screen was, I guess, a New Orleans Saints football player, Tracy Porter, before the NFC Championship game the other day, shaved Pac-Man ghosts into his head.
That's great.
The problem is you can't tell which one's which. I mean, I can't tell which one's Pinky.
No, obviously that's Pinky right there. And what's the other one? What are the other ghost
Inky,
names?
Pinky, Blinky, Clyde, and Sue.
Oh, you're reading that though, aren't you?
No, Sue isn't on here.
Oh, okay.
I'm not. There's one named Sue.
That's
red
the
one.
She has the bow,
Really?
right?
Yep.
She's female.
Yeah. You didn't know this?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, one of the Pac-Man ghosts is female.
And the red one.
Yeah, she's the one like yelling at and harassing all the other ghosts to get off their lazy ghost butts and go do something.
Right. That's why she moves the fastest.
Wait, do ghosts have butts?
Ghost butts.
Ghost butts.
Yeah.
Man. So you're playing Mass Effect 2 right now.
Yeah.
Speaking of butts, your character's ass is exposed in that game.
I made. I decided if I was going to stare at a Mass Effect 2 character, for 60 or 80 hours, I wanted it to be something enjoyable. So I made my character look like Taylor Swift, and I think I did a pretty decent job. I might release an
Did you
achievement
get
hunter
her
video showing how to do
smile, that weird creepy teeth
You know,
smile
the-
she
the-
has?
The two things I'm unhappy with that character are her hair and her lips are a little off.
The first question in every dude's mind right now is that, okay, if I make my main character female, is there still a way to have her make out with the other female character?
That's absolutely
Right?
the
Like,
first question.
That's like how.
Well, that you could do that in the first Mass Effect, and I think in this one you still can with one of the characters.
And that one character is also female?
Yeah.
So at what point will this end up on Fox News?
I'm surprised it hasn't already.
Jeez.
But,
There's been a lot of stuff that it's weird what like media focuses on when there's like some worse stuff out there. Like they were focusing on the whole Mass Effect kissing scene and like there was alien butt or whatever. But there's so much worse stuff in other games.
And I remember the girl who they brought on there.
Oh, yeah.
To like bring on the counter.
Oh, that was a great story.
And they basically were like, listen. Have you played this game at all? Do you have any knowledge of this game whatsoever? And her argument to that was, no, I haven't. And that makes me her argument made no sense whatsoever.
Her
It's
argument
like,
was something along the lines of like, "Oh, games are for kids," and that's why I didn't play it. But no, it was her, and was it Kevin Pereira or Adam Sessler?
I think it was Adam Sessler, if I recall.
Yeah, and it was pretty great because he flat out said, he's like, "Have you played the game?" She's like, "No, of course not." And it's like, well, how can you argue against it? And then later she actually saw what was the big hubbub, and she actually apologized because people were going on her.
You mean like weeks later?
It's like you literally talk about like how news has like become entertainment.
Oh,
where
yeah.
they're just like, okay, we're a news channel. We literally just need to find somebody who's going to take this point of view.
Yeah, yeah.
And really, that person is really they don't really care. They're just selling a book.
Yeah.
So it's just like, okay, well, I'll come on there and say whatever you want me to say, and then push my book.
It's almost like they have to find people who support like extremes. It's like there's no middle ground, there's no compromise. It's like someone who's either really for something and then someone who's really against something. That way you have the conflict because the conflict is what is entertaining.
Yeah. It's not the actual
Exactly.
news; it's just yelling at each other. That's the
Which
best
is
part.
why people listen to the podcast. They want to hear me yell at Jack or they want to hear me yell at Gavino.
I've
And
had
they don't
s-
care what we're talking about. They just want to hear the yelling.
I've had so many people complain that you haven't been yelling enough at me, and they're also sad that Gav's on here.
And like somehow this spawned like 47 Jack groups.
Yeah, just search
Can we
for-
start one last group saying let's not have any more Jack groups?
What was the Brandon group that just started up? What was that, Joel?
We're fine with Brandon.
That's very good for Brandon. It's just like,
We're fine with him. He's not in the way.
Brandon
He,
is
you know,
adequate.
he's there and it's not offensive.
He's there. He has some eyes, some hair. He stands. He's there. He's there.
Hey, we should talk about the Halo playdate we had last Thursday. That turned out really good, actually.
We did the what do they call it? Something for
the
Haiti?
Halo for Haiti.
You know the single thing I learned from that night, and I'm glad that we got so many people to come out, and it's great that we were able. Well, really Bungie, right?
It was a lot of fun.
God bless Bungie. But basically, everybody that night was like, I'm so used to playing Modern Warfare, I don't know how to control a Halo character anymore.
Well, you know what I learned that night was when you're doing a play date like that, don't ever let anyone else be host. Don't ever let anyone else run the party. Like I made the mistake of getting into one group and letting someone else control the party, and it just took forever to start, and just like all this indecision, and
Yeah, that's what I was doing. Was people were sending me invites. So what I would do is open up a new party. I would limit it to 8, set it as Griffball, and then send invites to all the people who were sending me invites. And as soon as it filled up, I would start the game.
Yeah,
and then as soon as it was over, I'd jump out and start a new one and invite more people.
yeah. The strategy that seemed to work for me is I would start a new party up, and I'd set 16 people, and we just do like big team battle in Sandtrap.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I played Griffball the whole time. Actually, I had a really good time. It was a lot
One
of fun.
thing that I've learned from this experience, and this happened the first time, is that Xbox is not equipped, like the dashboard is not equipped to deal with a massive number of messages coming
Yeah.
in one direction.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It freaks out.
Yeah, I never experienced like Bernie had put up that video last time you guys had a play date where it was this literally constant message, like one after another after
Yeah.
another. And I'd never really experienced that until this time. And like for about the first hour, it was pretty much constant on mine. So
Yeah, it was. It's like a nonstop stream. You can't do anything to get around it. Then like you look at it, you hit the jewel, you try to reply, and you realize you're looking at a message that you got 15 minutes ago.
Right.
Yeah.
You try to respond to a message or jump in there, it wouldn't work. And I realized, like, I'd be getting messages from people who sent me, like friends of mine who sent me a message like 3 days prior, and it's like, wait, what? It bugs out.
Yeah, it's really you really stand the opportunity to get really backlogged there.
yeah, how many people did you run into that didn't have that little Halo heart?
It was rare, and I noticed that if anyone didn't have the Halo heart, it seems like everyone else started yelling at them to change it.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of fun. I mean, we do that too. Like anytime someone would jump in or they'd have like a green heart, it's like no, go change it, and we wouldn't start until they changed it.
We the one time I'd let someone else control the party, we ended up doing 8 people in our party, and we jumped into a big team battle and looked for another random 8 to play against. So everyone all the 8 in our party all had the heart symbol. And we got into the matchmaking. We met another random group of 8 people, and we all had the heart, and none of them had the heart. And then one of the guys in the other team was like, "Why do y'all have hearts? Faggots, faggots, faggots," and just like over and over, just kept screaming that. I was like, "Oh my god, who is this guy?"
Yay, humanity!
Like you were just chanting it like that. I was like, don't you know what's going on?
So awesome.
Jeez.
I tried to explain to him, but I couldn't out yell him. He
Yeah.
was just screaming the whole time.
That guy, he was the one guy who didn't jump over to Modern Warfare 2. He stuck with Halo.
I left him negative feedback.
Man, I'm glad I didn't have like the camera involved because I was actually wearing a little shirt that had a little heart on it.
Do you know if Bungie actually hit their mark? I know they were a little behind. They were like basically asking people to show up that last day to try to fill their quota because they had a max at $77,000, right?
Right. Yeah. I think. And how many people had to play? Was it?
It would be 770,000 because it was $100 for every 1,000, and I think I played with about 10,000 people, so I would hope they hit it. But.
I'm not sure. I feel like I played a lot. Also, I'm trying to look on their website here see if I can find it, but I can't. Nope, I can't find it.
Okay.
I fail at navigating the internet. Oh wait, here it is. Updated.
What happened? What happened? Did you buy one of those shirts? One of the
No, I should. I never
Yeah.
bought one of the Fight the Flood one, and I always regretted not having one of those.
Yeah. I want
totally.
to pick up one of the not prospector. What's it called?
The superintendent.
Superintendent. Prospector is the guy who goes and finds gold.
I think their coolest shirt is literally the ODST shirts, like the gray ones that just say ODST on the front.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
one of those.
They gave those out before the Halo 2 launch, I think. Yeah.
Really?
Did they?
Yeah, we got one. Like we got one when we went up there to play Halo 2 before it came out. We were up there with Claude Herrera from Halo.Bungie.org, and they gave us a couple of them.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
That's very forward thinking that they would release that. That would be the second, or before the second game. And then ODST became their 4th game.
Yeah.
Is it me? I mean, we know. I know
game,
Bernie
technically.
posted a picture of like what England, like Great Britain, looked like it was just completely frozen. And here it was like 23 degrees, and I hear like in California they getting tornadoes. And
Yeah,
we got like
and
Haiti.
It's like the day after tomorrow.
It's like I wonder if the Mayans are right. I
Well,
mean,
they
it
got
seems
2
like-
more years,
Yeah,
man.
they're a little. It's a little early for that.
Well, I guess I'm combining end of the world stuff all into one to make it convenient, but it's like I don't know, man. I don't know. We only down to 2 microphones right now. It's all,
Yes, it's all slowly working its way down.
there was a naked picture of Gus on the internet. That's got to be a sign right there.
That's true.
Nothing's as good as it used to be. It's all downhill.
Yeah, it's got to be right.
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
I'm really concerned, Joel.
Are you?
Yeah, I hope you're not right. I hope you're wrong.
I don't know, man. It's getting weird.
So let's get so theoretically, end of the world's coming, and we can time the end of the world. Say like the Earth has 6 months to live. What happens on the planet?
Well, here's the question: does everyone know about it? Or
Yes,
does just
yes.
everyone knows about
Yes,
it?
like it's
Well,
like they tried keeping it secret.
why
It
would
leaks on the
anyone-
internet.
Why would anyone go to work?
Exactly.
Like society would fall apart, right? Wouldn't it?
Is that what would happen?
Yeah, totally.
You think society would just crumble and just be
Yeah,
like
It would be like animals.
Yes, it would. I mean, I'm not sure the nature of how, but it's like, is anyone going to go do their job? And if no one goes and does their job, what do we have? You know what I mean? It's like
we have canned goods?
what does the electricity plant look like? I mean, like how does I know like I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, how many people have to show up and like shovel coal or like flip a big like? Do they have a giant light switch that they have to flip on to like, start the generators?
Exactly right. It's like you watch those Discovery Channel specials. Is like the only thing that keeps working is like Hoover Dam. Like Hoover Dam's the only thing that keeps working like 60 years after the fact. So apparently, if you're in Los Angeles, you're gonna have electricity and be okay, but the rest of us are screwed.
Is that what Hoover Dam does? It powers LA?
Yeah, there's
Does
a
it
big,
power
like,
LA or Vegas or
well,
both?
I think both. I mean,
Wow.
it powers a lot basically. There's like a documentary about it and how like basically creating Hoover Dam in order to create the electricity that basically spurred the growth for that part of this country, screwed other parts of this country and like certain counties and stuff, and it was a big hoo-ha and all that. I just said hoo-ha.
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 I'll have to edit that. This is the internet. You can't just say whatever you want.
Yeah, hey now.
Get the mic away
Good
from
thing we have that explicit tag.
So one of the commercials we worked on is airing on TV now. Have you seen it yet?
I
Joel?
saw it last night.
I
Oh,
was
you did?
I'm
Which-
not
which
Joel,
one-
but I saw it
which-
last
Which
night.
one did you see?
I saw the talking fish one. No. I saw the Zigo the child one.
Where'd you see it on?
It was on what station was I watching? I think Comedy Central, maybe.
See, I was watching the Discovery Channel. I was watching When Bears Attack. I was watching When Bears Attack, and then the Mass Effect 2 commercial came on. I was like, wow, really?
Oh yeah. And, did I tell you the time I flew out to San Francisco for something? I think it was one of my EA trips, checking out like Bad Company or something. And on the way back, I was on a JetBlue flight, and I saw our commercial, or one you guys worked on. It was the Assassin's Creed commercial we worked on, and I saw it on the airplane, like as I was flying back.
Nice.
It was kind of cool. I was like, oh, I mean, I was watching ESPN or something like that, but still, it was kind of cool to be in the air and be like, oh, I worked on that. Neato.
One time, we were flying, I think, to Denver. We were connecting in Denver somewhere, and Jeff and I, it was on Frontier. Jeff and I were watching like the DirecTV in the flight, and there was like a reality TV show on about becoming a flight attendant and working in the airline industry. And I looked at the screen, and someone asked if I wanted a drink, and I turned to answer, and the dude who asked me if I wanted a drink was the dude who was on TV. And I was like, oh, that's you.
That's freaky. You can't let those people who are on TV like sneak up on you.
Yeah.
And he was like, and he looked at the screen, he's like, oh, I remember that day. That sucked.
Oh God, it's you! Oh Jesus.
No, yeah. Anyway, those BioShock ads, I want to mention those. Those are real fun. They turned out really good, I think.
Yeah, it was great to go out there, take a look at the game and work on it. That's one of the one of the curses of working on these commercials is getting to play the games before they're 100% done.
But I wouldn't call what we did playing the game though.
That's true.
We manipulated that game.
Still, it's like spoilers abound.
Yeah,
It's funny. We've worked on these things for a while now.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're under certain deadlines, and it's just sort of like a very business, environment. But the one thing that always grabs me is no matter how serious or how business it is, or what game you're working on, if you're working on a setup that takes you 4 hours to get the setup correct, and the execution is super critical, and you're working on the shot, and then someone happens to accidentally shoot someone else in the face, it's always funny. It's always funny. Every single time.
That's right. I think I remember shooting
No.
you in the face.
No, it's not. It stopped being funny
Jack
a long
shot the
time
guy
ago.
in the face. Like,
Yeah. No,
everyone gets so excited.
no,
It's
if-
like, oh, we have
when you
3 hours
when you
of
watch
work ahead of us now
so
to set that back up.
the ESRB is very very they're like
Love
they're
shooting people in the face.
the ESRB is very, very intense about people getting shot, especially when it's going to be on broadcast, or not, I guess not broadcast, but it's when it's going to be on television. And so we were setting up this shot, and you have to miss characters when you shoot at them. And if you watch the shot, I was actually controlling the Big Daddy in the shot,
And it's just not-
And like on the 5th take, I turned in a square. I had my target right on Joel's face, and just blew him away. and it was pretty hilarious. We all laughed, and then we realized that we had to reset.
Yeah, no,
and
you
it was gonna be half
everyone
an
laughs
hour.
and laughs for 20 seconds and then goes, "Oh crap!"
Well,
That's the 3 more hours of setting all that up.
Yeah. There's some behind the scenes stuff. I've had people complain that we don't talk about enough Rooster Teeth stuff on the podcast anymore.
I'm always afraid to, because I never know. I never know what we can say and what we can't say.
Yeah,
It's
it's always tricky. It's like anytime someone comes up here, it's like, do we want to show what this guy's working on?
I certainly don't want to cause more work for ourselves in the future. We're like, oh, ESRB, blah blah blah, and then later it's going to be like, oh, by the way, you can't show people's faces now at all,
or you can't talk about the ESRB because that's not allowed.
You have to
that's
bleep
what's
out any
gonna
mention.
happen. You know that's what's going to happen. I know. I can't remember. I'm sure we talked about this in the past. The funniest email we ever got was from the ESRB.
Oh, the Assassin's Creed one?
Oh, God.
That was hilarious. We should make that into a shirt. I still think we should make that into a shirt.
We should make it into a shirt.
That should be the Rooster Teeth business shirt.
We complain about it, but I appreciate what the ESRB does.
Absolutely.
I'd much rather have them policing the video game industry than have like a government regulation,
absolutely
stepping in and doing it.
Absolutely, I absolutely agree.
I think the ESRB, we complain about it just because we make commercials and we have to deal with some of the rules, but I think they do a fantastic
You
job.
can give us like a box of free donuts, and we're going to complain about the box. We're going to complain about anything.
No, I've worked now with marketing and production. I've been on the production side of video games, and working with the ESRB. It's a pretty good group. I mean, they'll be very specific about what needs to be altered, what needs to be changed in order to sort of make it fit their qualifications. So I will give them a lot of props. The ESRB, they're absolutely great at what they do.
Yeah, it's great you say that they give you specific direction and give you specific notes. It's not like the MPAA when you take a movie to try to get a rating and they're just like yes or no.
Yeah, sorry, no,
this does not qualify.
This is rated NC-17.
That's true.
And there's no note. There's no you have to fix this. It's just no.
Right, and I think they specifically, like on the last one, they specifically said if Jack works on another thing, we're not going to give it a green light. Sorry, it's one of those things. CSRB, we can't do.
Man,
you can't fight that. But no, we complain, but we love them.
It's true.
Yeah, ESRB. Yes, it's much, much better than a government-controlled system. Then it gets very, very dirty.
What is going on?
What the hell photo is that?
You all obviously did not watch the VGAs.
Is Mike Tyson about to hit that chick?
Mike Tyson is on the stage with the cast of Jersey Shore.
That's Snooki. Did he hit her?
No, he didn't. Mike Tyson's looking a little round.
Well, yeah.
What happened to him? It's like he's slowly turning into like your nice next door neighbor guy. So, like he's got the sweater vest.
If Mike Tyson, still you can call him a little round, but he could still kill me in one punch.
Yeah, definitely.
Jesus.
But the point of the story is that I guess VGA viewership is down again for the second year in a row. Well, this year it's down 5% from last year, which was down 30% from the previous year.
Well, we talked about this before. I was kind of pissed off about the VGAs because they try to make this big event for video games and stuff, and everyone tries to say, "Oh, video games are they're becoming more popular and they're becoming more mainstream," and they do this, and it's like the MTV Movie Awards.
Have you talked? Yeah, exactly. Have you spoken? Anyone that you know that plays video games or is in the industry or anything, does anyone feel connected to that show in any way whatsoever?
No.
Do you feel like it has anything to do?
I mean, it's just it's a chance for video game companies to advertise. That's all it is. And how many premieres did they have at the VGAs? Like 5 game announcements?
There's a way that you can execute on it where, you can still advertise and have it not kind of suck.
Yeah,
I mean...
Well, in this, it's funny you say, like, what do these people have to do with video game culture or anything. The story here says that, all of these videos, all the whole show is available on GameTrailers.com. And the clip with, Mike Tyson and the cast of Jersey Shore has 16,000 views. But the Halo Reach premiere, which also was on the VGAs, has, 600,000 views.
No, I mean, that says it all right there, right? They have a headline that says viewership down. And what do they have? They have a picture of Mike Tyson and the 4 people from Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like...
That's 5 people you don't care about.
I mean, they're just going to throw people... It's just, I don't know.
Like, I mean, that's sort of offensive to me. Is that what these TV shows think that
maybe
we want?
If they made a video game about Jersey Shore where you gave all those characters guns and they shot each other, then now maybe...
No. They give you a gun and you get to chase Jersey Shore down.
No, they give you a gun and you get to shoot yourself to get out of the misery of having to watch or listen to those people.
Do you think Jersey Shore is going to be like the next Left 4 Dead group? It's gonna be.
What a great idea!
It's like,
oh my god!
Yeah, where the fuck did you pull that from? Oh my god, that's the best idea ever.
That is a great idea, dude.
It's like
Left 4 Dead.
It's like, but it's like a debate. It's like maybe I want them to get eaten by zombies. Like, I don't know. Like,
yeah, right.
But
No
like,
one makes it past the first.
it's
level.
like the new specials are like just Guidos, like running around without shirts on and all like glowing orange radiation.
My God, what a great idea!
they,
You should make a Left 4 Dead 2 mod.
If
Somebody
only I had
has to
some
do
kind
that
of
now,
skill.
right? Oh my God.
Oh man.
Yeah, like you think about all the great stuff that some of the characters say in Left 4 Dead that you want to hear. Oh God.
Oh Jesus, I hate that show. I watched one full episode of that show and it made me want to just kill myself.
I don't think I've ever seen any of those episodes.
You're not missing anything, dude. It's honestly sad what passes as television now.
I don't know what to say. I was at a bar. You might have been with me, Jack. We're at a bar, and some dude runs up to us who's totally drunk. He's like, "Oh, it's great! So one of the dudes on Jersey Shore punched this chick. It's awesome." That kind of, I guess maybe that does sound kind of awesome. But
Well, no, it sounds if you hear like a guy punched a chick, that's like okay, that's bad. And then but you see what these people represent, like okay, I kind of understand it's still bad.
well,
film.
my first thought is like, what MTV producer engineered that scenario?
Well, if
is
it-
the first thing that pops into my head.
I mean, you look at the guys like look at the Real World, like the original Real World. I would say even like the second and third seasons, it was actually like real people in real situations, and now it's like
I don't
obviously
know.
manufactured.
I'm not sure. About
No,
that,
no, the
but
first couple seasons. Now they're up to like season 21 or something like that. But like it seemed like authentic people
we'll
going.
have to pull out. I'm embarrassed to even talk about this. I'm embarrassed to even talk about.
Oh, dude,
this.
I love Real
I
World.
was on Love Connection.
Were you really?
Yeah, I was.
Oh
on-
yeah.
and I'm not even sure. Am I going to get sued? Or they?
No.
You know, it's just like it's engineered. It's
Oh, yeah.
engineered.
I've
You're not gonna link that
I've seen
now,
a clip
are
of
you?
that. I have that. You
we
needed
put
help
it-
encoding your demo reel to digital.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
I have it on a hard drive somewhere here in the office.
Oh, dude, you got to track.
I don't
that
know.
down.
I don't know where it is.
No, I mean like the whole reality show stuff. I mean, like when I was out in LA, I worked on a film, and I was sitting there. I was there during casting, and I've now seen people that we looked at for casting show up on reality shows, and it's like, oh, okay, you're an actress, or
Right.
Well,
man.
we should probably wrap up, but before we wrap up real fast, I just want to make a quick mention that this week Avatar passed Titanic as the highest-grossing movie of all time.
That's nuts.
God.
Already, how many weeks was that?
7, I think, or 8.
Jesus.
They should have a movie about the naive on a big boat that sinks.
The Navi.
Naive. That's what you called it.
Well, I was the play on words. Scott.
The and I'm almost embarrassed to say that we had doubts about this movie now. You know, when we first saw that that preliminary teaser.
Well, I don't think I had doubts about it being a financial success. I just wasn't sure if I was going to like it. But I liked it. I was wrong. I liked it.
No, yeah,
But,
it's-
I mean, it definitely seems anything, it's going to have a budget that big, with the sort of the creative leadership, that's got to be a candidate for a
so
movie that's going to make a lot.
I mean, that Michael Bay's probably crying right now, right?
Yeah.
Because his whole attitude has always been like, fuck the critics. We'll just make a movie that the people enjoy. Make it awesome. And here's a critically acclaimed movie that people enjoy that outperformed Transformers 2.
All right,
Like no one's going to remember that Transformers 2 was the number 2 highest grossing movie in 2009.
Yeah.
Everyone's
yeah.
just going to remember
Avatar took the lead. I'm looking at the top 10 here, and it's crazy. It's Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Dark Knight, and then Pirates is up there. But these are all franchises,
Yep.
except for Titanic and Avatar, which is weird.
And Avatar will be a franchise.
You think so?
Yes, and the only reason why Titanic is not a franchise is because you can't, right?
Well, no, remember, we
yeah.
link dumped that video last week where Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn pitched Titanic 2 to James Cameron. Everyone lives in the boat underwater. There was like an air pocket.
Turns into Bioshock.
Yeah, that is. There you go. That was what Ryan or whatever was on Titanic.
Well, before we wrap up, does anyone want to try to take a guess as where Avatar will end up grossing? What it'll end up grossing when it's all done?
Okay, it's at 1.858 billion right now. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna say I'll say 1.95.
Wow, you're selling short.
You think it's gonna go much higher
couldn't-
now?
I can't. I couldn't tell you.
I'm gonna bet all said and done, it's gonna end up at 2.2.
Wow.
But-
Yeah, looking at that, I was probably real low, but I'm gonna stick with it. 1.95 is what I said.
I'm gonna go with 2.3 just to do the game
You
show
know, you
thing.
should do like
where I'm
2.2 and
$1.
$1.
Hey!
$1.
So I'm spin the wheel, brother.
All right, hey,
All right.
we've got to go and watch the tablet announcement.
All right.
All right, bye, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.